So, since we talked about hoop intellect, the draft. First and foremost, who watched? Who didn't watch? Be honest. I know you watched because you had the stream.
I was live.
Did you watch the draft or did you?
I was in the gym.
He definitely was in the gym because I remember seeing your Instagram post or like your story, and I was like, "Shouldn't you be at work right now?"
I mean, watching the draft doesn't really interest me. I can just keep track of that on my phone. I was still tweeting.
It's a
about
little
it.
bit. No,
It's not one of those things I have to watch to know what's going on.
I
I
I
don't
feel like
care
if you
about-
watching it,
yeah.
I didn't have the sound on, so
Yeah, and I don't care to hear what the commentators are saying.
'cause they don't know
anyway,
what the
so-
hell they talking
So
about.
I'm just like, I'll just go based on what I get from Woj and Shams.
That's fair. It's
I
just
respect that.
it's just a thing for me now. I've been watching this since I was like 5,
Mm-hmm.
so I just can't imagine it being on, and I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, I mean, I watched
I
the
feel you though. They don't be saying shit.
Yeah, I had the first round now. Like I watched the first round, but after that, it kind of gets like, okay, I can just kind of look at my phone, but I always feel like I was gonna have my leave my phone to the side too, because it's so easy to just look at your phone. You already see who getting picked while they're about to walk up there, and it's just like,
Yeah, that's kind of why I don't even watch it because like your
Yeah.
phone's gonna spoil it for you anyway, unless you just like you did just put it away.
Yeah, just don't be on your phone.
Yeah.
Or turn off notifications from the motherfuckers that's going.
no. One thing I always say that's like cool when you do watch the draft is seeing like a lot of the lottery picks and everything, how they come dressed up.
Yeah.
for sure. That's a
Gotta-
big part of it.
Gotta
Yeah.
get fly. Any surprises 1 through 5?
I thought the Scotty Barnes one was a little surprising, but I really liked it. I thought he fit with the Raptors, and I think that's going to be a very fun fit for them, especially with him, Siakam, Gary Trent, Fred. That they just got a good little young
OG.
movement going on.
See, that's why I think the opposite though, because
Pascal.
Pascal and OG, they all like these 3 to 4s, and then you just drafted another one.
Yeah.
And then I also saw a report last night that was like because they drafted Scotty Barnes, a lot of GMs think that means that Pascal is like really really available now. So we'll see. I mean, Scotty Barnes is not a dude that's probably gonna come in and average 20.
Yeah.
So it might not. The Pascal thing might not happen this offseason, but it is right. The writing is on the wall that they gonna have to make a decision between him, OG, and OG. So
Yeah, that's how I felt the same way. Just like, where is he going to really fit in to get those minutes? I thought OG was supposed to be making a even bigger. He's always been on the trajectory to make a jump. He's always going to have the opportunity. And obviously, you got Pascal. But I don't know. I think you just kind of needed a more guard, especially after Kyle Lowry's probably not going to be there or he's going to be gone. So you needed a guard to fill that role.
Do they need a guard though? Do they?
I think
need
it would have
guards?
helped. I
Because
think we was reading the reports that like they really like Scotty Barnes in his workout, and that's why they decided to make that decision.
I keep seeing the Raptors and guards being linked up. Like the Jalen Suggs thing, I understood because he would have been one of the better players available. So
Yeah.
sure. But even with the Scotty Barnes thing, either or. But like even after that, I see like Raptors have interest in Lonzo Ball and blah blah blah, and it's like Fred VanVleet can play with another guard in the backcourt. But does that mean you need another one? Like,
Yeah.
if you have a 4 pick and Jalen Suggs is the best player available to you and you want to take him, I understand that. But if you don't, do you really need to break your neck? Because you have Fred, you have Malachi Flynn, Gary Trent Jr. is a shooting guard to me. OG Anunoby is like a 3. And, so it's like, how much of a point guard do you need? Like, Lonzo Ball is going to probably go for 20 plus.
20 plus a year, 4 years, 80 mil to Chicago. Yeah, that was my reaction to
yeah,
what happened
my
live.
bad.
by the way.
Somebody just got clocked.
That was your boy. That was Jose Abreu. That was
He
Jose
just got
Abreu.
clocked.
So
Yeah.
the Lewis came out fast in the month.
No, he didn't. He thought
But,
he was going fast, but he was going 6 miles per
Hey,
hour.
for him,
Look,
that
he-
was fast.
He got up like, damn, what the hell am I?
But,
But,
hey, he stayed in the game, so real trooper. But back to your original question, I see what you're saying. We did see a lot of transition between Fred VanVleet going to the point guard position full time, and I mean that's why you pay him, right? I mean he was a point guard in college, and then transitioned to a shooting guard because they already had Kyle Lowry, and him being so small, he probably works best as a point guard at the end of the day. And
Him
we'll
at
see.
2 was still good. Like he's defensively, he's a monster. He's still
Because,
able to
but
keep
you
up with
did
them.
that because you had to do it.
Yeah.
But is that something
very
you're doing
undersized.
willingly, or is it because hey, we have these 2 guards and they can play together?
Yeah.
Versus he is a shooting guard, and I mean, if you're going to invest, they're going to invest some money into Gary Trent Jr. How much I don't know, but are you invested in Gary Trent Jr. and Lonzo and Fred VanVleet?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't get that one, but
I like that. I like the GMs that don't go with the consensus pick. It was like if Scotty Barnes is your dude, and he wasn't projected, he's probably supposed to go 5 anyway,
Yeah,
right?
5,
So
yeah.
it's going up one spot ain't that big of a deal. But I like to see teams take a shot on the dude. They're like, this is the guy we really like. Whether it be Primo, whether it be Giddey getting drafted at 6, whatever. If that is your guy, just go get him, bro.
Yeah.
Just go get him. I mean, you might get fired for it in 4 years if he's ass, but like, take your shot, bro. If that's your dude.
And then if you hit on it, you look like a fucking genius.
Exactly.
That was a good one just because Scotty Barnes was like guaranteed that he wouldn't go past 5, so 4 isn't really a stretch for him. He was in the talk of the top 5 prospects.
I love him for Orlando too. I fuck with Orlando's draft, bro. I thought that their
And
draft
me too.
was
They're
pretty
a winner
solid.
for me.
Yeah.
Just their whole situation, like I'm not gonna be so quick with it and say I'm gonna become I think Orlando has something that they could work with in this future, bro. Like, first of all, they don't have no superstar or anything like that, but they just happen to get Jalen Suggs, who I think kind of fell in their lap when Scotty Barnes got picked, and then they also got Franz Wagner, who I think is a nice player who's going, who could play multiple positions for them, stretch the floor, and just be a scorer. They have a cesspool of talent there, right? Over this year, I think it's just a good gauge of like, okay, what works and what doesn't. They have veterans there who I think complement, but also if they do work up their value, like Gary Harris, Terrence Ross, or even Otto Porter.
Ross is available.
Right. These are players that they can trade, bring more picks
Otto
in.
Porter's
Otto
off
Porter.
the books now. Free agent.
Oh, okay. They still have. I think Terrence Ross and Gary Harris are still like
They are.
decent. Like, they could work up some value and get traded. So they have a lot to work with. I just like that they hit the reset button, got talent to work with, and then nothing, like all the pieces they have, nothing is promised.
I like
it's
it
just
too.
a bunch of opportunity for them.
They're so early in their rebuild that I don't care that they have like 4 point guards on
Yeah,
the team.
I don't.
Because if Jalen Suggs comes in and he's good, then we don't need Markelle Fultz no more. We don't need Cole Anthony anymore. So I'm okay with having multiple players play the same position, especially since all of those guys.
They're like combo guards,
Most
too.
of those guys are combo guards, right? Cole Anthony might be smaller, but like Jalen Suggs are legit 6'5". Markel's 6'5" as well. So they can run together and see what you really got. You got to really think about it. This is the first year of their actual rebuild. So fit is not going to work, right? They're going to be a bad team, but that's okay. They're going to see what they have and the prospects that they have and see who's part of the long-term plan. And I like that.
That's my logic. Like, nobody on that team is good enough for me to stop drafting.
And they're
that
gonna be
position.
they're gonna be bad, bro.
Yeah.
They're gonna be bad. So they're gonna have
be
another
fun. I
pick.
think
They're
they're
gonna be fun.
fun.
to watch
Yeah,
them.
I know they're gonna be
There's
competitive.
some questions for me,
That's
though.
what I said. They got a good path for this rebuild.
It's some
right now.
things that spoke to me, like the Franz Wagner pick. I like him, but them taking him at 8, especially when you got a guy like Book Knight there,
Yeah.
it made me think
Book Night Fallen was surprising.
if they're super sold on Jonathan Isaac. It's telling. Chuma Okeke, now Franz Wagner.
It might not even just be that, Pete. It might just be the fact that John Isaac is now older, right? And when you hit a full reset, what is he, 24, 25 years oldish?
Yeah.
Off couple injuries too, knee
That's
injuries
the
at
thing.
that.
Them
That's my
injuries,
thing. It's
I
just
don't
the
think they
injuries.
sold because of the injuries.
Yeah.
When's the last time we've really seen Jonathan Isaac really get down?
In the bubble. But that was short lived because that's when
He got hurt.
Yeah, that's when he got hurt.
He's 23.
23. Oh, he's going to turn 24 soon, I'm guessing.
The day before you.
Oh,
Regardless if he's
And I
on
had
their-
no idea
he
he was
could be
from the
regardless
Bronx.
if he's on
I
their
had no
future
idea.
plans or not, because as long as he could play on the floor, he's a quality player.
But that's
in
the
terms
thing.
of
That's what I'm
defense,
saying.
though.
I think they make
It's
be
just-
concerned that he can't be on the floor.
Yeah.
I think that, but they ain't like they playing for shit. But I like.
I think he's kind of past that. Is like, okay, how much more can he go? I think he's gonna be. He's still got upside, but it's not like, oh, we're looking at him as a star type shit.
27 games. The next year, bounce back with 75. Now 34. This year, no games. I mean, for a guy who was 4 years in, he only played above 40 games once.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely questionable, but I think the upside's there. I think you still got to give it a little bit more time. See what he's like when he come back from his injury. I think he's definitely like a.
Oh, they don't have him on a trade block. They gonna give him time,
Right.
but
Oh, yeah, they gonna give him a
they're
lot of time.
drafting to be
Like-
prepared.
Like a little
because-
something to fall back on, just a fallback plan.
Because shit, I mean,
It's
even
smart.
potentially,
Even
we
if-
ain't really seen him. Even
I mean,
hit
just by
his
that
stride.
track, even by that track record, if he doesn't even play above a 40 games, you still have all these prospects to
Defensively,
look at.
he's been there, but his offense ain't
they
caught
never
up.
came around.
Even when he
at
was
all.
scoring in the bubble, I was like, I don't know if I believe in that shit. That shit was hitting off glass from mid range, bro, from like from free throw line.
I think there's potential there, but it's just that we ain't really getting a chance to really see it. But yeah. My biggest loser, since we creeping up to it.
I got an idea, but I'm expecting.
No, go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you're saying.
I want to see if you guessed it. Let's see if we really cousins.
I think you're going to say the biggest loser of this draft is the Sacramento Kings.
Yep.
It was very confusing.
I would love somebody on this panel, if they could, to convince me to think that wasn't a bad pick.
No.
No.
Like I said,
And wait, people just crazy because they misunderstand. We're not saying that Davion Mitchell will be a bad basketball player, but fit wise, what Sacramento already has with their guard situation to bring in another guard that's supposed to help you contribute right now. Basically, what they showed me throughout this draft is like, hey, we trying to make the playoffs next season, so let's go get the most NBA ready guy. But the NBA ready guy plays the same position as your two best players. So it's like where's the spot for him? Especially if you're thinking about trading Buddy Hield and you got Marvin Bagley on the block. I would have liked them to go get a wing or a big.
I've seen people trying to argue that this was supposed to be a good pick.
I didn't even see it. What they said.
Tyrese Halliburton put on a little muscle. He could play the 3.
Oh
like,
my
bro,
gosh.
if
So
he
that means they're under the assumption that De'Aaron Fox is a 2?
I guess so.
I know that they drafted a 6-man. I know that's it, that they're playing or whatever, but it's just like, damn.
Why would you use the draft
first
to
of all,
draft a
the name
6-man?
you just said, that shit would have fit so much better if they would have got somebody like Book Knight that could have actually played it. Even if they wanted to run smaller, he could still play the 3 or something like that, and he would have been more of like a size to score and all that. But
I love Reese. You're not expecting him to come in and put a lot of muscle on the second year. I'm not expecting him to go from 170 to 200.
Yeah, I don't even want that. I don't even want
That
Reese
messes
to
up his
be-
game.
they messed that pick up, bro. Like that was an
Super.
immediate like, what was y'all doing?
Now, the one thing that somebody did try to tell me
Mm-hmm.
is like, hey, the Buddy Hield thing, they take Davion Mitchell, maybe they package that up together for whatever trade they're trying to get off. I just don't see the Kings being that smart. They would have to.
Well, you know what was happening because I was live on Twitch when this was going on. It took them a very long time to tweet their pick. You know how like when the Cavs picked Mobley, in 3 minutes it was a picture of Mobley like he's coming. You know, it took them a very long time to tweet out a picture of Davion Mitchell with their team. So maybe they were behind the scenes making calls. This team might want, you know what I'm saying? It didn't happen. So eventually they did tweet a picture of Davion Mitchell. He showed up to the practice facility yesterday. He looks good in the uniform. I say that much. But it was a very confusing pick. And I'm curious right now. I'm going to go through some people that did draft grades, and I'm curious of what the consensus is across different platforms. So y'all can keep going. I just want to look and see what they got.
Again, I hate that we even have to say this, but people are jackasses. I think Davion Mitchell is a solid player. I think he can have a solid career / good, but I'm not using my top 10 pick as a backup. That was my whole thing with the Warriors. Everybody had him going to the Warriors. I'm not using a top 10 pick for a guy who intentionally is going to be a backup. Now, some guys may go to the Warriors or a lot of teams, and they may not start from day one, but the intention is that they'll at one point develop into a starter. Davion Mitchell behind Steph Curry is going to be a backup for the next however many years. And
Same with him being behind De'Aaron Fox.
he's already 23. So it's not like you're putting – and then like Anthony Simons who'll be behind Dame for 4 years, and you look up and he's
Anthony
still –
Simon came in, he was like 17
exactly,
years old.
still only 21 and after being a backup for X amount of years. And now trading Dame, Portland is going to be like, hey, Anthony Simon's going to get some
This is
burn.
what I hope. I hope Davion
What they
Mitchell,
grade?
B minus from Sports Illustrated.
I think
Sports
I seen
Illustrated,
one.
Stop it. Stop it.
Bleacher
I want to say
Report-
Bleacher Report is like a C minus. Well, if Bleacher Report had a low grade, I think.
Bleacher Report was a B.
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
can you go back to Sports Illustrated?
Yep.
And tell me what they gave Josh Primo?
Josh Primo was what, 12?
Yeah.
Josh Primo at 12 was a C.
So how is Josh Primo a C, but Davion Mitchell is a B? Because Josh Primo was expected to go 12? Like, what are we grading?
So
I
this
was
is I'm
surprised.
gonna read,
I
I'm
was
gonna read you
surprised
what
with
they
the
said.
Primo pick as well.
We all were surprised.
Sacramento has designs to compete for a playoff spot, and taking an NBA-ready guy like Mitchell here does help on that end. But how much playing time would he realistically find with De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton on the roster is questioning. Mitchell is surely enhanced with what he brings from the defensive side of the ball. His speed, his toughness, and his ability to score are a fit for their personnel, but Book Knight might have been a higher upside pick here, but scouts really do love Mitchell's long-time upside due to his size and age, or don't love his long-term upside because of his size and his age.
But you still gave him a B.
Gave him a B.
It doesn't make sense.
But listen, this is what I hope. I hope Davion Mitchell comes in and he's a fucking stud. And they like, shit, we don't need De'Aaron no more. And then De'Aaron gets traded. That's to Chicago. Because we're going to miss on
I
Lonzo.
hope not, because then that would mean Sacramento has to get sold to Seattle. Because that would come back and bite them in the ass very, very shortly after. And because De'Aaron Fox ain't going for cheap, so what y'all selling? Them Zach LaVine? Davion Mitchell, Zach LaVine,
No.
Tyrese
He's going for
Halliburton?
cheap in this hypothetical thing that I made up in my mind.
this.
I'm going through. Okay, so these are sports. These are CBS's grades, and I'm just gonna read them to you pick by pick. First pick A plus, second pick A plus, third pick A plus, fourth pick A minus, fifth pick A plus, sixth pick B plus, Kuminga A plus, B minus for Franz, A plus for Davion Mitchell, A minus for Zaire Williams. You know what I don't like about this? These publications,
are scared to.
they're scared to be wrong.
That's why I'm hearing A minus, A plus.
Because even just last year, Isaiah Stewart got drafted, and I think it might have been Bleach Report was like D minus. And now Pistons fans got that shit as their profile picture.
Yeah.
These writers are afraid to be wrong, but it's in nature of the game. Giving everybody A plus in the draft is fucking unrealistic. Everybody didn't win this year's draft. I'm sorry.
Just heard 10 picks and 8 had
Chris
A's.
Diorte A minus, Moses Moody A plus, Kisper A, Sengun A plus for Trey Murphy, A minus for Trey Mann, Kai Jones.
I will
B,
say this. I
A
think
plus for Jay. No, I'm gonna keep going until I see
no, you
something.
can keep going.
A plus.
I think there was a lot of
A
winners
plus.
in this draft, but not A plus winners.
A plus,
Name these people.
B plus.
Name these people.
The last grade that was below a B was Kai Jones to the Hornets was a B
And that was
minus.
a
I thought that was a great pick. I
At 19.
thought that was a good
That
pick.
was an immaculate pick.
It's so like this is what I always tell people. Part of what we do as a job is being wrong occasionally.
Yeah.
People are not going to tweet you your right takes. They're always going to tweet your wrong takes. But if you're so hell bent on that wrong take, bro, you're not in the right profession. I have been wrong about so many fucking things in this job. But guess what? It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. We make predictions. We don't know if the 24th overall pick, who they gave a B plus, is going to be a stud. There's no way to really know. We can try to predict, and we might be wrong, and that's okay. It's okay to be wrong, especially when you can say you were wrong and laugh at it. Those people that stand on that hill, even after they're wrong, you're a crazy person, and you shouldn't
But
be in
this is
this
the other part too. Is if there is one thing in this job that's okay to be wrong about, it's the draft.
It's the draft. It's
We've
impossible,
already
bro.
been wrong. Like anybody who covers the draft and was doing mock drafts and projections, we're already wrong. Nobody had Josh Giddey going 6th on their draft.
Or Chris Duarte going that high.
No, Chris Duarte was supposed to go that high.
Oh, wait,
He's
no.
supposed to go like 14, right?
Yeah, 14.
Something like that.
So Josh Primo going 12th.
Yeah.
That fucked up everybody. Nobody in the world had. That was my favorite player in the draft. I stood up, got in the camera, and I didn't think he was gonna go 12. Josh Primo himself didn't think he was gonna go 12.
Yeah.
So we already were wrong from that. You know what I mean? Like who fell? Keon. Well, I predicted Keon. Do y'all remember when we did the Hardwood Herald magazine?
asked about
and I
Keon.
asked Keon, like I asked Corey, what's the hype with Keon Johnson? Not that
Where
I'm
did he
hating
end
him.
up draft? Second round?
He went to,
No,
he went to the first
Clippers.
round. He went to the Clippers. I think
Yeah.
he was
21.
21
was
pick.
y'all picking, y'all kept trading back.
Yeah.
Right. And
So-
you know what's funny? When I did that Chipotle shoot, they were like, we got 4 guaranteed lottery picks.
They did.
And Keon Johnson was in that, and he
Okay.
didn't end up being a lottery pick. Cool
Yeah,
dude,
and-
very cool dude.
Yeah,
though.
I like him, but I just didn't see the hype because when I asked that question, he was a top 10 pick in mocks, and I'm like, let me go watch film on this dude, and I was watching him and I liked him, but I had to ask Corey because I didn't love him, but I love his situation now, going to LA behind Paul George, Kawhi. He's gonna be. They got him. They got Brandon Boston.
That's if Kawhi there.
They got Jason Preston.
True.
Where Kawhi going? Kawhi's gonna be a Clipper. We're not gonna start this bullshit.
I'm gonna keep going to different people that gave grades.
Where you think he gonna go? Why KB look? Since you think it, since you
Anywhere
saying
that don't get Paul George.
Oh,
Okay,
So,
so
you know,
this,
Kawhi just like to move. You
I'm
know
not
what
saying that these are good grades, but this NBA.com did their grades by a guy named Kyle Irving, and he wasn't afraid to give bad grades,
shout out
which
to
I
Kyle.
enjoy.
Shout out to you, Kyle.
But he did it in team. He didn't go pick by pick. So he's like Atlanta Hawks getting Jalen Johnson, Sharif Cooper was a B.
I agree.
I think the Sharif Cooper thing was cool. I saw a lot of Bulls fans wanting us to take him at 36 or 38. But we went with Ayo, which I really like. He gave the Boston Celtics a C minus with their pick of the French guard, whose name I won't even try to pronounce because I'm not.
He probably also gave them a C because the pick that they gave up in the Kimba turned into Alperen Şengün,
Oh.
which would have been nice for them. But
I
Shout out
didn't
to the
realize-
Rockets, man. The Rockets had a great draft night.
I also agree. He gave an A plus to the Hornets. I agree. I thought
great.
the
James
Hornets did
Bouknight,
great.
JT Thor, Kai Jones. That's a hell of a class. I'm forgetting somebody. Any one more person?
Book Knight, Kai Jones, Thor, and Scotty Lewis.
Scotty Lewis out of Florida.
Gave the Bulls a B. I'm cool with that.
All y'all had was Ayo.
Ayo, yep.
Yeah, we only had a second.
Ayo Mobley. I didn't even realize that the Dallas Mavericks didn't do a goddamn thing yesterday. They was chilling.
All the teams that was trying to trade and move their picks and they didn't jump in and get somebody.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
They should have jumped in.
And I was thinking about the Warriors in like an I don't know situation because they can still do something, and they took the best available. I thought Moses Moody for them was actually a really good pick too.
That's why I kept having them take at 7, but they got him at 14. I want to ask you, what's his grade for the Brooklyn Nets? Because they're one of my winners. For them to be where they are,
they got some
get
really good.
the
They got
best
some good
scorer
players
in the draft, and Day'Ron
He
Sharp.
gave the Brooklyn Nets a C-.
Oh, he's tripping.
For a team looking to contend for a championship, it is surprising to see the Nets make all 5 picks at different draft spots. They landed Thomas, who is the second best scorer in the draft class after Jalen Green.
No.
But scoring is far from Brooklyn's biggest issue. While Thomas gives the Nets a second unit shot creator and a bucket getter, it may have been wise to target a versatile defender.
Right now, today, Cameron Thomas is the best scorer in the draft. Jalen Green has upside to be the best scorer out of this draft, but Cam Thomas has averaged 25 everywhere he's went. High school, college, in the SEC, at LSU. This is against other pro guys who are in the league now. This is Kentucky. This is against the Keon Johnsons of the world. He's the best scorer right now. And then they got Kessler Edwards, my sleeper, in the second round.
I wasn't mad at what they did just because, like, I know you want to get ready for like this title and get all these NBA players and kind of trade away those picks, but they just really needed bodies. I feel like with their top 3, you don't really need much else, especially if you got Joe Harris too on the side. But like, you just really need bodies who can contribute during the regular
Because
season.
they're gonna have to pay Kyrie and James Harden.
Yeah, and
so
also
they just needed some like.
That's another thing. They save a lot of
Javon
money
Carter.
too. Yeah, Javon Carter's gonna be a dog for their years.
That's
They
why
ain't gotta do
probably
shit with the
That's a
fan.
big reason why they traded Landry because
Bruce
they know they're about
Brown.
to pay him.
I love Bruce Brown, bro.
Yeah.
Bruce Brown. Yeah, I like the picks. For them to be where they are and who they are. I think they did a good job getting those guys because eventually, you know what? Also, the dude not thinking about is they may not need Cameron Thomas, but his skill set is needed around the league. So if they do have to go make a move, somebody gonna take a Cam Thomas.
And like I said, you the draft expert. Who's the big man they got? I heard that he could be really.
Day'Ron Sharp.
Oh yeah. He was that 29th pick, I think.
Yeah. Which another hit for me because I had him going there in my mock draft. Good passer, young, can rebound. He's gonna be good, man. It's an extra body in the front court. We know they need front court help.
Yep.
The only question is obviously can they develop with the Nets, but the Nets are gonna be good and blowing out teams, so they should get them some minutes at the end of games. What about my Knicks? What grade my Knicks get?
I don't know. This I don't know if our Wi-Fi is messing up, but it won't load up anymore.
Okay.
So
That's
you tell me what you believe about the
how do
Knicks.
you feel about what your Knicks did?
I'm happy with what the Knicks did, man, because when we got up to 21, I was in the spaces. I had started the spaces, and I was telling them, like, they kept asking me, like, who would you want? It's like, the guys that I wanted aren't really there. So I'm okay with them trading. Like, Trey Murphy was gone. Trey Mann was gone. Chris Duarte was gone. So it's like, if you don't love anybody there, then trade back and get somebody you love, which we end up doing with Miles McBride. We also got the most athletic big in the draft, Jericho Sims. We got this draft and stash point guard, and then we also got somebody else. I feel like I'm forgetting. Didn't we get a wing or some shit? Oh yeah, we got my boy Quentin Grimes. I love the Quentin Grimes.
Oh yeah,
pick.
Quentin Grimes.
Shout out to
That was like one of my favorite picks. But I like we moved down and got all guys that we had interest in. McBride and Quentin Grimes. Oh man, great pickups. And we traded down and got some more assets. So
McBride might be what y'all thought Frank Ntilikina would be.
I wouldn't say all of that, but I like McBride. Frank
Hey,
Ntilikina is a 6'5"
I'ma just
guard
say-
that was gonna be defensive and have a 3. Like that was some shit. McBride is gonna be good, but what I thought Frank Ntilikina was gonna be was some shit. You know what I'm
He
saying?
would have got some offense to him. He would have been nice.
I thought he was gonna be some shit because that's why we took him so high. I thought he was really gonna be some decent shit, but
The Pelicans got to be winning just because Trey Murphy
Murphy.
fell to him, and that was like
Yeah.
their perfect guy that they needed for
It
their
was,
squad.
Yeah.
how y'all feel about the Grizzlies getting Zaire?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you much about him. I just saw the report that he played with Bronny, and now he's about to play against LeBron. So it's crazy
I think
shit.
it's kind of hard because we talked about it like when we did our sleepers. Whatever. He's one of those guys. I was like, he could have that super high upside, and he still does. It's just like, I don't know. you still got to make that shit work at the end of the day. Like,
mean,
if you took him at 10 and he's just doing like average shit, then it's gonna look bad. But if he comes in and you got this dude who's averaging 20 plus at 10, it's like, okay.
He had to have some great work.
Well, it's not just them drafting that 10. They traded Jonas Valanciunas and took in some bad contracts to move up to this pick. So a little bit of added pressure to him.
And would you say he's a 3? Like, solidified?
He's a small 4, yeah.
A small 4. Okay, I was gonna say he could be like. You got Jaren Jackson on that small. He's gonna be the 4.
I think they're gonna start moving Jaren to the 5, bro.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna play the 5 a lot this season.
Don't forget that they have Brandon Clark too. I know they might trade him or whatnot.
Oh yeah, you know his ass.
Yeah,
They stopped playing his ass late.
Yeah,
late in
that
the
was
season for
confusing
some
as hell to
reason.
me.
Because he had a great rookie season.
He did.
Very good.
I think he had even the beginning of the year.
But if
he was doing
you
pretty
ask me that to say if Zaire Williams can play the 4.
good. Yeah,
Oh, I mean, yeah, because PJ Tucker be playing the 4. Like PJ Tucker played
PJ Tucker.
The 4 is a very open spot.
Yeah,
now.
you know, a lot of them motherfuckers playing the 4. So yeah, but I do think he's a traditionally slotted
that
3. I just want to know how well he's going to accept being like, can he be a 3 and D guy? He's so used to getting the ball and put it on the floor. I just want to see. But
Let me get to the rumor mills.
yeah, before we do,
We're gonna talk about the trade. I know people want to hear us talk about the
I
trade.
want to shout out our fans, bro. We got the best fans in the world. And
Other than that one dude, Scott, we don't fuck with you, Scott.
what's
I'm
Scott
sorry.
say?
We just don't fuck with you,
I
Scott.
don't even know
I'm
who
sorry.
Scott is.
This is a made up name. There's one dude named Scott watching this video. Like, what the hell?
He feels attacked right now.
But shout out to them, man. They gon' get a motherfucker a scouting job or GM job one day. Like the love that they be sending when we say some right shit or say something and they go and it happened, and like that Josh Primo shit had I gained like 100 followers after he got drafted. My shit shot up and my mentions was going crazy. Like they be going so hard when we say something right.
The Kuminga thing kind of blew up on Twitter too.
What happened?
I had called him the cum bucket.
Oh wow.
That's a fire nickname to me. I understand that he
No.
wouldn't like it,
No.
but he gets buckets and his last
Nah.
name is Kuminga. Come on, bro.
Nah.
That's a fire.
And
ass
I think
nickname.
it fits like the demographic of like the fans we
Oh,
have.
people are gonna call him the cum bucket.
Yeah.
He's not gonna want. It's not gonna be on his basketball reference page. But people are gonna call him that.
But yeah, shout out to our fans because that shit, you know, that validation of those people that pump up shit you say, it lets it grow and spread into wildfire. And then people start to say, oh man, like motherfuckers now was mentioning me like, yeah, this motherfucker, I'm tuned in to whatever the fuck you got to say. Even they tried to give you some love. Didn't Mike take Chris Duarte at 10?
Yeah, with the Pacers.
But somebody, no.
No,
not
Grizzlies.
the 10.
The
The
Grizzlies,
Grizzlies have 10.
And he went 13th in real life, and somebody mistaked it.
They thought it was 10.
So they was like, Mike even predicted something. And they got me excited. I was like, then I looked, I'm like, oh, no, he had him going 10th, motherfucker. But yeah.
That man. So we went on a rabbit hole of name every NBA player that Chris Duarte is older than, and it was so many All-Stars.